All right, ladies and gentlemen, Melina just wants to say this one thing, darling. Now, sometimes you might think someone is doing something negative, or sometimes you might be hypersensitive to certain things because of the criticisms you get. But overall, in general, how are people treating you? How are people in society? How are people overall, right? Because let's say you go on some dates, and the dates might just be terrible people, right? Maybe they're not good quality to anyone. Maybe they're like, maybe they've been like that with you, but they're like that with everybody, right? Maybe they're catfishes. Maybe they have STDs and they don't want people to know, right? So who knows why people, or maybe they're alcoholics or whatever, right? Who knows what the reason is why people are the way they are? But if you meet someone and they're terrible to you, do not let that rest. Do not let that be about everybody else, right? Do not let that be about how people treat you and how you are in the world and whether you're a victim or not. Because really, everybody's different, right? So there are something, and they often say that if someone doesn't treat you well or someone's not liking you, that you're not meant for them, right? Like it's just that simple, right? Like maybe you would think, at some point you will, or maybe you would think maybe eventually or whatever. And I'm not saying this about acquaintances, right? Because we all have acquaintances. If you're friendly to someone, you don't have to be judging who they are. You don't have to say anything really. But I'm talking about people that you care about, right? People that you care about, people that you like. If there are a certain way around you and they're not a good way around you, then you have to find somebody else. Now, I'm not to say that you dismiss them and treat them like dirt and say, hey, why you like this? How dare you? You don't do that. You basically just you keep them there if they want to talk to you, but you don't spend time with them. You don't talk to them unless they talk to you, right? But really, all in all, you have to really find people that are good for you. I know people that have an attachment style, and their attachment style, they're very needy, they're very clingy. They will attach to anyone regardless of who that person is because they have that attachment style. But if you are that person, maybe you have that attachment style, then just don't pay attached to people that are negative for you. There's lots of people out there. You can use your instead of being attached to negative people, you can be loyal to people that like you, right? Or you can be enjoying people that like you, right? So really, it's not about whether you have this attachment. It's about whether you feel whether you find people that are good for you, right? And even people in your family or whatever, if they're not good for you, then you can't. I mean, you can have them there. You don't have to dismiss them. You can choose to talk to them when they're there. But really, if they're not a good family member, or they're not really nice, or they're just delaying your growth, then you have to find other people. Now, not to say, not personally for me, my family's really, really good. They might have some hangups, but really, all in all, I'm not going to be upset or anything about anything I've done or they've ever done. I'm happy with them, but we've grown apart because we're older. We have different lives, separate lives. But and we were still close. But I would say we're just adults now, so we have our lives to do. So we're all busy doing our own thing. We have lots to do, so that's fine. But I'm just saying, if somebody's really negative or someone says something hurtful, then maybe they're not the right person for you. Maybe you have to move on. Anyway, bye now.